Hi everyone, we're going to look at circles and how to find the circumference and the area of a circle given its diameter or given its radius. So you first have to know for a circle that the diameter starts at one edge of the circle and goes all the way across, and it always goes through the center point. That would be the diameter. The radius goes from the center to any point on the circle. And the radius is therefore half the diameter. Or you can say the diameter is 2 of the radius. You'll always be given these formulas to find the area and the circumference of a circle. So the first one for area uses the radius r, the circumference formula uses d for diameter. Or you could find the circumference using this formula, 2 pi r. Since again, 2 times the radius is the diameter, that's where that formula comes from. So for the first one here, we're going to figure out the circumference given the diameter. So we're going to use this formula right here, c equals pi times diameter. So if the diameter is 8, the circumference would be pi times 8, or you could rewrite that as 8 pi. This would be in terms of pi. If the question asks you to find something in terms of pi, that means that pi is in your answer. So 8 pi would be in terms of pi. Then it could ask you to round the answer to the nearest tenth or hundredth or whatever. So then you type it into your calculator, 8 pi, and we get a rounded answer about 25.1327. So if you want to round it to the nearest tenth, we can do for this one here. That would be 25 point, well, nearest tenths place would be this digit right here. We look at just the number after it. We don't need the 2 or the 7. The 3 says to keep the 1 the same because it's below 5. So 25.1 centimeters would be our circumference. For the next one here, we're given the radius, but our formula says pi times diameter. So you got to figure out the diameter or use the other formula. Diameter would be 2 times the radius, so 2 times 4, which is 8. So then our circumference would be, again, pi times 8, just happen to work out like that, which would again be the same answer from before, the 25.1. For the next one here, we're going to try and find the area of a circle. So the area formula is pi r squared. It gives us the radius of 9, so we can just take pi and do 9 squared. If it asks you to do in terms of pi, you would do just the 9 squared first. That would be 81 pi. This answer would be, again, in terms of pi, since pi is in your answer. Then you would just take your calculator, type in 81 pi, and we would get our rounded answer. This is about 254.469. And so say you want to round to the nearest, let's do hundredths this time, so 2 decimal places. So the 9 tells us to bump up the 6 to a 7, so it's 254.47. That would be nearest hundredth centimeter squared. For the next one here, very similar, except now we're given the diameter is 6. The area formula has a radius in it, not the diameter. The radius is half of the diameter, so half of 6 would be 3 for the radius. So let me just plug that in. Pi times 3 squared. Well, 3 squared would be 9, so this is 9 pi for in terms of pi. Then again, we just use our calculator, do 9 pi, and we get our approximate answer if it asks you to round it. Gives us 28.2743. Let's round this one to the nearest thousands just for fun. So tens, hundredths, thousands, so 3 places there after the decimal. We look at just the number after it, that 3. Says to leave the 4 alone, do not bump it up. So this is about 28.274, and this was centimeters squared.